So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. By the title tonight, we're going to be talking about Skai Jackson's baby daddy getting arrested. I know what y'all are thinking, Chioma just let this topic go, but I really wanted to do a story time with this one. I wanted to talk about myself personally because yesterday's video was transparent and personal, and I think I want to talk more not about Skai Jackson's choice, but how she may have gotten here and how relatable it is for a lot of young black girls of a certain demographic who are maybe suburban or naive, how they end up with the hood guy, because I've been there and I've done that. Before I get to the points on the docket tonight, let me address yesterday's video. I was not expecting that video to even have that much push or engagement. It's actually doing above average with viewership and commenting, so thank you guys for tuning into the rants. I have gone on rants about YouTube in the past, but this time I was a little bit more transparent with some things. I do appreciate all the positive comments and the support that y'all gave me, even some people with the suggestions. I will say I am tired of YouTube, but I did state that I was not going to quit. I just feel like my days are numbered where in the next 1 or 2 years, especially with my transition with finally moving to a big city next year, I'm gonna figure out what my life path is within that time. I'm currently 27 years old. I have 3 more years until I'm 30. And I don't like that we try to make it seem like 30 is the age where you have to have everything figured out. But personally for me, that is just the goal that I've set for myself. If anything, I just want to turn my business into a nonprofit, get grants, and really turn up with my modeling agency because it's something that I'm really passionate about and I've done a lot of work on it for years. I just know I'll thrive in a better place. My business was in Toledo, Ohio from late 2020 up until the beginning of this year, and I did do a lot in that time. But I also suffered a lot as well, when I tell my story. And I've created good connections with some of the ladies, and now that I've gone through about 3 years of running a business myself, I figured out what to do and what not to do. And one of those things is don't use your own money. So my goal is to promote it for a while in a different area, get that funding, go to events, get in classes to make myself a better model and a better leader, and just really go hard with that. That doesn't mean that YouTube is just over with in this moment. It just means that once the turnover happens, YouTube will be on the back burner as more of a hobby versus a full-time job. In the meantime, I've definitely been applying for salaried positions, and someone said something about me not stating what my degree is in as if I was just looking for high-paying jobs. I didn't state it because it's in my description box, I believe, but I do have a bachelor's degree in communications, specifically in mass communications and also in marketing. So that's that. There were some critiques about my thumbnail style. Quite frankly, I don't think that's the issue, y'all. I don't think so. I think people recognize my thumbnails. I even had this Twitter dispute one day where one of my thumbnails was going viral on Twitter and people thought it was the impressive channel, but it was actually me. And because of that, I did change my thumbnails a little bit back in May. And when I look at commentary channels, all of our thumbnails are pretty similar. You put a picture of the main topic, you put a white outline or a colored outline, put a short and distinct text as the headline and some supporting pictures. But I can find ways to stand out, but I don't necessarily think that's the issue. I'm a YouTuber who still uses tags on their videos, and because I've been here for so long, I understand how to navigate some of these changes. One thing that y'all did suggest that I do think that I could do is do more shorts and also TikTok content as well. I don't post YouTube shorts for real because I didn't realize how many people actually watch them. I rarely ever watch shorts, and for someone who is on social media or known from social media, how much social media I actually consume is pretty limited, so I just have to put myself in the headspace of an average social media user. So I thank y'all for that tip. I'll definitely do that. And people did say to make a Patreon. I do have a Patreon. I'm not going to tell you to go subscribe yet because there's not much on there, but I did think of an idea that I can do on Patreon, and that will be more deep dives on different topics as well as my personal life experiences that I just don't want to share publicly on YouTube. So we're going to figure it out coming in 2025. I'll definitely apply some of the critiques and suggestions. I did get a few, very few, maybe 5 comments that said that I was entitled or I don't stand out as much as I think I do. I've been doing commentary since 2018. It was very few people doing commentary when I started, and I only started because I was in college, and I felt like although there were a lot of people doing college vlogs, people weren't having consistent girl talk about topics that black women in their early 20s were talking about. And it was an untapped market, and it really helped my channel take off. Even when I talked about black fishing or race-related topics, that was very popular, and I took advantage of that. So thank you to those who said I'm an OG. I don't see myself as that, but when I do think about it, a lot of people that I've seen in the commentary space that are newer have definitely shouted me out and say that their videos are inspired by my content that I make. So I'll definitely try to speak more positively about my presence on YouTube. I am just frustrated with YouTube itself. I just feel like after 10 years, things should be a little bit higher than what they are. I do have to be more consistent, but in all honesty, with fatigue and losing passion on YouTube, it does get hard. So I'm gonna wipe my tears, lift my head up, and just understand the evolution of this platform and try to. There was one person that said that they feel like they don't know me. I feel like I've gotten critiques that I speak about myself and my situations way too much. So I don't know. Everybody everybody's journey with watching my channel is different. Some people have been watching me since 2015 when I was a senior in high school or early freshman year of college, and some people just started watching me this year. A lot has happened over the years. I don't think I need to be completely transparent with everything that happens in my life, because the more you share, the more people have it to use against you. And I've learned that the hard way. But when this book comes out, I already know that it's just going to be open for a lot of different opinions about me, but I anticipate that early. The last thing, someone said that I've gotten a lot more mean. And whoever said this, you couldn't have been watching me for a while, because I used to be way more ruthless. I definitely used to talk a lot more trash, cuss in my videos, literally grind people up for a lot of things. And that was like in my college self. I have been way nicer on this platform as of late. And it's just with age and maturity. I've been through stuff and I'm like, I can't be as harsh about things that I'm going through or have been through. I'm a lot more understanding and my verbiage does reflect that. I'm definitely way nicer than I used to be. And another thing, I don't appreciate being compared to, and I hope I don't get flack for saying this, but when you're a black gay male and that's your channel, you can get away with saying a lot more theatrical and sometimes disrespectful things because people expect you to have that personality. Like I watch certain commentators and they call women the B word. They can get away with it because y'all perceive them as these over-the-top flamboyant gay men. If I started calling women B words, y'all would drag me a little bit more. Y'all already think I'm mean. Just saying. But regardless, I really do thank y'all for y'all's comments, and we're going to push on the best that we can. When the day comes where I know it's time to let this go or just put it on the back burner, I will definitely let y'all know. But I do thank you guys truly. Now, after that long ass rant, so Skai Jackson announces that she's pregnant. She does this whole media paparazzi photo shoot of her shopping. In these pictures, her hair is laid, the sunshades are on, she's in an outfit that looks good, her belly is exposed. To me, it was given when Rihanna announced her first pregnancy. It gave exactly that, but with no man on her side. And her man is not on her side because I don't even feel like this is her man at the moment. I think that's just her baby daddy. And of course, he's all the way in Cincinnati, Ohio, about 45 minutes to an hour from where I live at, in jail. Well, he's been released, but he was in jail. And just to note, I think the reason why she staged these photos as well as confirmed her pregnancy is because TMZ got those pictures and that video of her in that pink bonnet with her baby daddy, literally looking like a crackhead couple who's looking for their next meth pipe. And that might be mean, but I'm gonna speak directly about the optics that I saw. It was definitely giving bum. Skai Jackson, a multimillionaire, is walking around, I believe maybe Los Angeles, because that couldn't have been Ohio. Ohio's getting cold right now and nobody's wearing a tank top and shorts in Ohio right now. But they're walking around, they don't look like celebrities. And from what TMZ said, she had dropped him back off at the Holiday Inn. So that lets me know if they're in Los Angeles or wherever she lives, he's not staying at her house. They don't live together. He's been over there, he spent the night. But this moment, she put him up in a hotel. And during the day, she took a walk or they ran to the gas station or whatever. And then she probably got in her own car and drove home. I don't even understand why Skai Jackson would be that dumb, for a lack of a better word, because it's not like she tried anything to cover up her pregnant belly. She literally looks pregnant and is outside basically vulnerable for her business to get out. But I think she wanted it to. So fast forward a few days and all of a sudden we see Yerky, whose real name is actually Deondre Bergin, being arrested. According to subcentral.com, it says a report obtained by TMZ indicates that Deondre Bergin was arrested in Cincinnati, Ohio on November 13th after attempting to evade the police. Authorities reportedly approached Deondre Bergin regarding a juvenile parole violation warrant. However, he fled when confronted, leading to a brief pursuit. During the chase, Deondre Bergin fell, sustaining a minor cut on his left cheek. The arrest adds to the ongoing public attention surrounding Bergin, particularly in light of his connection to Skai Jackson. According to the Shade Room, Deondre Bergin was later released with a citation for misdemeanor obstruction of official business. Skai Jackson has not addressed the situation publicly. And if you can remember, there was a Facebook post that surfaced of him saying, "On WAP, I'm sorry, I got this dumb A, Disney Channel B pregnant, I hate this girl." Skai Jackson tried to say it wasn't true. Her mother also tried to say it wasn't true. But with all of this going on, I don't even know why they think we're dumb. I have people that live in Cincinnati that I know, even some of you who are from Cincinnati, the nasty natty, who told me that you saw the post that yourselves and told me it was very true that he wrote that. That's pretty much that. But the reason why I think that she's even in this situation is from after watching a TikTok series from one of Skai Jackson's former friends, who is Nate Clips on Instagram. And if you don't know Nate Clips, it's a spam page. I believe I follow the page or have at some point, and it's just funny, relatable videos. And I will link the video to the whole series. I'm not gonna play it here, it's like 25 minutes long, but I did listen to it at the gym the other day, and from what I gathered, Skai Jackson is literally a product of a naive, sheltered, sort of green girl who was mesmerized by a lifestyle that she wasn't a part of ever. And the only grace I'm gonna give her is that I think a lot of young women have been in this position. Maybe you're the girl from the suburbs who went to a predominantly white school, who has sort of been whitewashed whitewashed, who didn't grow up in the inner city. And so when you saw the people who looked more like you and the things that they were involved in and just the budding interest to that experience or to be around it, you fell in and you fell deep. And the reason why I say that is because I've been one of those girls. Some people were saying I wasn't being personal enough, so let's tell the story. Story time. I feel like I'm on one of them MTV shows, but when I was 17, the city that I was living in, we have like a county fair, and the county fair was always in the city. So my friends and I, who all went to a predominantly white high school, we would love to go to the fair every year because at least we get to meet boys who are more our type. The white boys at our school didn't really like us. The black boys at our school were either colorist or maybe they just weren't our type. And it's funny because a lot of the black boys at my school were short, and I'm very tall. They were maybe like two tall black guys and they were into white girls. So going into the inner city, we were able to get the pick of the litter. So this is my senior year. I'm 17. This is in 2014. And my friend and I were like, let's see who can get the most numbers. Teenage girl, thirsty, desperate, young girl behavior. And so we're walking around. We got our hair done. We look cute, nice outfit. Boys are approaching us. We're approaching them. We're just being social butterflies. And I ended up talking to this dude that night. And after a few days of texting some of them, there was only one that kept like texting me back and that I also liked. And at first glance, I would have never guessed that he was into the things that he was into. He was from Virginia. He was new to the area. He was 18. I was 17, but we were in the same grade. And when I saw him, he was actually standing with a whole bunch of white dudes. So I was like a little apprehensive, but he said he liked how I looked. And I was like, okay. So we started texting and now we're at a point where we want to see each other more. Mind you, he's 6'5". He was on the basketball team. That was sort of a lie. And he was really cute to me. When he would tell me to pull up on him because I had just got my license, and after school sometimes my dad would let me use the car and I would go over there with my friends to where he stayed. And we would never like go inside the house or anything or an apartment. We were just kind of parking lot pimping with him and his friends and me and my friends. Sometimes we would get in the car and me and him would, start kissing and doing all that nonsense. And I was just head over heels because he had like that hood swag, but he was like still cool with like the white people. Especially because prior to that, I never got the experience of I go to school and I have a boyfriend here and we're just a young teenage couple. I never had that experience. And with being on the cheerleading team, like all the girls had boyfriends. They all had boyfriends who played sports or did something real cool. I just was like the awkward tall black girl who just was like the outcast. I was just like the funny bystander character. So even with this situation, he went to a local school, but he didn't go to my school. And honestly, I personally would want my daughter to date in high school so she doesn't go to college and is greener than grass. I don't need her to be the jolly green giant because I was. And it was because I was so sheltered and I had to sneak and lie and do all of these things just to experience a regular teenage lifestyle. I would rather my daughter be transparent with me about whenever she likes boys, and to meet this person, meet their parents, try to talk to her, because nobody ever told me anything. Nobody ever told me what not to do, what a man is supposed to do, how a man is supposed to treat you, things to look for. That was never told to me. I grew up with Nigerian immigrant parents, so I was as green as a ficus named Fern. So anyway, me and this boy continues on dating, quote unquote. He ended up being my second body ever, and things were going cool until I realized his family background. Once I came around a few times and I started seeing his friend group, I didn't see them white boys like that anymore. And I think it was just because he was new. Then he found his crowd of people that were more like him. Like some of the white boys were there, but then I started seeing the Pookies and the Ray Rays and the Man Mans, and he was Southside Freaky Taste Stay Tatted. So we were on and off for a while, but when it finally wrapped up, what really did it for me is when he had a birthday party at his hometown. So now I'm like in college and he moved back home to Virginia. He's from the 757. So do with that information what you will. And his brother had recently got released from prison. So I asked, what did your brother go to jail for? Basically, drug robbery gone wrong. And he got 8 years in jail. Brother came home, they threw him a crazy party just for getting out of jail. I wasn't there for that one, but I was watching it on Facebook and I was just like, oh, okay, like they really brought the whole neighborhood out, emphasis on neighborhood. But his birthday was a few months later and I did come to Virginia for that. And I realized everything about the family was just completely hood and ghetto. It's like I knew it, I was picking up the signs and I was enticed, but I didn't really know until I saw it for myself. And I don't come from that at all. I would even dare to say that a lot of Nigerians are uppity, or at least they try to act like that. And because a lot of Nigerians are in career fields that literally require a lot more schooling most of the times, most of us just don't associate with certain things. I'm just being honest, but don't underestimate some of these Nigerians. They be ghetto as hell too. So little old me, yes, I was born in Philly as a child and even from northeast Philly. And eventually my parents worked hard enough to get us to the suburbs. And that's where like my high school and all of that, all of them years are from there of my childhood. But little old me was somewhat mesmerized by a lifestyle that seems intriguing, but anybody with sense would understand that it's not. So during this birthday party, the family pulls up and it was just the most ghetto thing. I always knew that his family was affiliated with a gang, but I didn't really know how far. Emphasis on neighborhood. And once the brother came home, it was like everything really pumped up in action. He started wearing his flag. He started doing all of these things. Everybody was banging blue. They had a meeting that they had like a whole bunch of people. Luckily, he was smart enough to tell me not to come, but I was seeing them on Facebook. I was looking, I'm like, oh my God, like it's so many people and they're just all like, yeah, you guys get the picture. But when I pulled up to the birthday party, I'm realizing that the mama's asking me to go buy her cigarettes and to take her to the ABC store, and all he does is smoke and get on Facebook Live, and he needs a bottle of Jack Daniels just to get him through the weekend, and he can't even function without weed. And now he's on Facebook throwing up Phalange Rosetta Stone. I was like, oh my God. And at first when I was younger, it was a little bit enticing to have that bad boy type and the one with a little bit of street credit, the one that even has a street name. I believe he had, they called him like Moo or something like that. And I always knew that he sold drugs, but I was benefiting from the money or just having this somewhat protected, respected man behind me. But I didn't realize that because I didn't come from that, it made no sense for me to even associate with that. And in Skai Jackson's case, to procreate with that. So for a lot of people to say that it's harsh to judge when a lot of us have done the same thing, I get it, but I feel like those comments are a little bit ignorant, because I feel like the women who have been there and done that and don't want to see younger girls go through the same thing where we know the end result is never going to be in our favor, that's why we're judging and critiquing Skai Jackson. Especially when you add money and celebrity, something that most of us don't have, it makes it more astounding that this was her choice. To see her child's father get arrested like any old hooligan on the street, it just doesn't add up. And after watching her alleged ex-friend's video on TikTok, he talked about how she was always into the hood dudes. She wanted NBA YoungBoy. She had a brief stint with NLE Choppa, allegedly. She was also associated with rapper Lil Keed, allegedly. So her type has always been the hood dude with the street cred and that gangsta style. And I get the enticement when you're young. I really do. I've been there, I've done that. However, for the younger girls that are watching, or maybe you're in your early 20s, you are going nowhere fast. Most of these dudes, although they're getting money in the streets right now, they're young, they look good, they have the jewelry and the chains and respect from their local hood right now. Trust me, there's no end result. The end result is dead or in jail. Just like Yerky. Street money, drug money is not going to pay into any 401k, so you can't even retire off of it. So they may be up a few $1,000s right now. Hell, they might even be up $100,000, but it amounts to nothing in the long run. And that's what I realized with Skai Jackson. She's making, yes, a very common choice that a lot of younger black girls of her demographic derivative have made, but she made it permanent for herself by getting pregnant, and that's why we're upset. If she was just dating dude, I would just side-eye her, but I would have way less to say. But to get pregnant by Yerky and seeing her background and going for the same type of guy, this might sound crazy, but I would have rather her be pregnant by NBA YoungBoy. At least he has something to give her versus Yerky. It really is sad overall, but I don't really feel bad for the girl, because the one thing that as a celebrity child with money has is options. They have choices as well with those options, and she made a choice to opt into a situation that is going to be her downfall. And it might not be a permanent downfall. I'm not saying that she can't redeem herself. I'm hopeful and prayerful that she will wake up from this infatuation and in the next few years realize that it wasn't it, she can do better, and eventually move on. You even see a lot of these athletes and rapper baby mamas, the guys that they move on to are a little bit different than the guys they started off with. With NBA YoungBoy's baby mother, Jania Michelle, she was with YoungBoy, then she bounced around to a few different rappers and athletes, but eventually she got with an NBA player that treats her so much better and doesn't have the same connotation as some of the men in her past. So I wish the same for Skai Jackson. I've been there, I've done that, and ladies, trust me, it is not worth it. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my vlog channel. The link is down below, and I would really love for y'all to check out that content because it's more personal, talks a lot more about me, and I'm traveling a little bit more at the end of this year, so I'll have some content for y'all, have some fun stuff coming up. So link down below, make sure you all subscribe, and as always, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.
Tu m'appelles mademoiselle, l'amour est du caramel. You got my mind spinning like a carousel. Can you tell? Ooh, you so professional, smooth like a criminal. Passenger princess, always treat me like Cinderella. Yeah, call me Bella, say I look Stella. Tu me fais bêta, ils sont jealous. Démon, père from my left hand. J'ai regardé, je ne vois pas no other man. Number one, Papa, you know you're my only one. 2x2, buy me everything under the sun. Toi, c'est moi, bisous on my body, love that. Yeah, we had tough times. your body give me releases. It do my day be increasing. Then you bless me like sneezes. I could write a whole thesis when I give you these reasons. Count on, 2,